Hi everyone, this is Koinzell here, and I want to do a quick video now that Nilou is out to do a comparison between her actual performance with the artifacts that I have versus what we have done in the theory crafting so far in terms of all the math guides. So first off is a rotation, right? I'll definitely test out a rotation. And you'll see that I have a red section here highlighted because it's more or less confirmed that you can actually do two Nilou normal attacks before doing her E, and you will still trigger the off-field mode. The advantages of doing this is that the normal attacks are slightly faster in the animation compared to the 4 E's in a row, although the AoE effect for the two normal attacks is not as big as the 2 E's. But it's okay. We'll go with a faster setup for the bountiful course because we are already casting Dendro initially. So this is a rotation that we will follow, and I'll show you guys the actual showcase itself now against a level 90 enemy, which obviously is Masanori, right? The easiest one for me to find at a level 90, because my math is based on enemies being at level 90. So I'll do the, as usual, with how I have always do my launch videos, right? Character launch videos when we're comparing against the math. And the showcase. So the showcase itself, we will do the showcase, play normal speed. Then I'll show you guys a slow playback, and I'll step through things for you guys to take note and to see how things are working out, whether we are getting the hydro triggers, whether the figures are correct as per our math, etc. Okay, so let's go straight into the rotation. DMC EQ. You did the two normal attacks, right? And the off-field is triggered. Unfortunately, the second boomerang didn't happen, didn't hit. But it's okay. Look at how fast his HP is dropping. I don't even have a chance to use Kokomi on-field attacks. Right after I cast the Q, he's done. It's done, guys. In like 17 seconds, which there's 2 additional seconds because of the 2 dodges that I did in this showcase. Effectively, the first 15 seconds of the rotation, he's gone. Okay, he's gone. On the first 15 seconds of the rotation, he is gone. I'll show you guys. We reach up to this point, and he's gone. He's finished. So let me do a slow playback for you guys. Let's see if I can find the adequate point to start. Okay, so DMC EQ. I think this is a good point to start. Okay, I'm gonna do a slow back here. Now notice there's 2 cores, right? Okay, first off, before I talk about the 2 Dendro cores, I'll talk about the 2 bountiful cores that just triggered. First is generated because of Nilou's third E, or the third skill dance. Okay. The second bountiful core here is because of her tranquility aura. The moment it appears, it applies wet, it triggers. Why do we get 2? Because we have enough Dendro application to allow us to trigger 2. Remember, hydro trigger, you can trigger 2 cores off of 1 U of Dendro. So this is already almost 30k damage. Now, there's 2 more cores here. They are not the bountiful core. These 2 are the Dendro cores. So the first Dendro core was created by Nilou as part of her setup initially when she first cast her E. The very first E that you press. The second core here is the DMC Lotus triggering a core every time you apply Hydro to it. This is nothing new. This is existing behavior for DMC. Okay, now the reason why I call out your attention to these 2 cores because it will factor into the damage later, and you may be confused to think that those 2 numbers are Dendro triggers. They are not. They are actually these 2 cores. I'll show you guys later. Okay, now let's resume. Okay, yeah. So a little bit of avoiding and stuff like that. I'm slowing down further. Now, I actually missed one of the 30k. Hang on. Yeah, my bad. Yeah, so 30872, this is still from the Tranquility Aura because we have not applied Kokomi's E yet. We just switched to her on field. So 30872 here, that's another proc of the Tranquility Aura from Nilou's Bountiful Core. So it's a Nilou proc. Here we apply our E, and you'll see that there's another bloom. This is the point where it gets interesting. We have 3 different figures here. So 18716, 19439, and 28537. So the 28K figure is from Kokomi's E. Okay. The 18K and the 19K. 18K is from the 18K should be from the DMC. The when you apply Hydro onto the Lotus, it triggers that Dendro core. 19K should be Nilou's when she first did her E. Okay, so these are the Dendro cores, not the Bountiful cores. These were the 2 Dendro cores that were created before we went into the 3rd step of the dance. Okay, don't confuse them with Dendro triggers because they are not. In fact, if you look at the icon here, there will always be an icon here showing the elements, right? You'll see that Masanori always has it as Dendro. At certain moments when it's not there, that's where you have the reaction just happening. Okay, the bloom reaction just happening. In fact, you will see both Hydro and Dendro right above his head when that happens. Okay, again, we have our Dendro. And you notice that there was a 29K that was her Tranquility Aura. Okay, so look, there's a 3386 figure here. This is from her Q. There's going to be a second wave for the Q that also triggers a second bloom. And I'll show you guys shortly. Yep, there you go, 33386. Now, 338386, right? Before I go back to the video, I just want to quickly show you guys. It matches perfectly with my math. Okay, and let me go to the actual figure itself. Yeah, okay, so this is the one that I was showing you guys earlier in MathCAD 7, where I was comparing my actual stats, right? So I was using this, and 33386 is the exact damage that we calculated for C0R1, which is the permutation I have right now. And the reason why you just only see 3386 now and lower figures earlier is because of DMC's EM bonus, right? Because DMC's EM bonus takes time to stack up. So I can tell you guys the 23386 here that you see is when DMC's EM buff happens to finally hit the highest number. Okay. And then you have another 30693, which is Kokomi's E. 32736 is Nilou's Tranquility Aura. So it's always Hydro trigger. Okay, that's very nice. Now, as Kokomi cuts a kill, you'll see here the figures have appeared. This is her E, this is Nilou's. So there obviously there's some fall off, right? Yeah, because after the 3386, most likely one of the 60 EM buff has ended or something, resulting in the damage here being lower. Okay, it's most likely either the DMC effect or the C4 collate effect. That's why the damage dropped later. So one thing to bear in mind is that my DMC is at C3. My Dendro main character or Dendro Traveler is at C3. That's the reason why you see like the buff isn't as optimal. Once you have C4, you will see a lot more 3386 figures. Okay? So yeah. So I'm very, very happy, number one, that the rotation works, right? This rotation works perfectly. Regardless, even if I made this small change just to tweak it, right? The main gist of it working is still there. Number one, it's all Hydro triggers. Okay? All Hydro triggers. Especially when you see the element on Masanori, you know that it's always Dendro on him. So it's always Hydro triggers. And the other thing is also that this rotation, where we are alternating the Dendro and Hydro application, is really making the Hydro triggers work. I'm very, very happy with this. While I have a pretty decent or high degree of confidence in my theory crafting, it's nice to see it really work out in actual gameplay. Okay, so first off, rotation working out very nicely. Next is the damage, it actually matches perfectly as well when I have all the EM buffs. So this is nice. The next thing to do is really just to show you guys the stats, right? Yeah. Now I've actually done the stats and shown the stats during my live stream earlier, but for the sake of this video, I'll just quickly show it. Yeah. Okay, so give me a moment. All right. So this is my Kokomi's EM 1098, which also matches perfectly on the EM that I showed in Math Guide 7. Kokomi's 863, DMC is 893. Okay. Kole was 688. So the weapon is R1, the artifacts, the constellation C0, talents are all at level 1. And this is Kokomi's. Constellation C0 as well. This is the artifact set. Tenacity, and she's using a R5 prototype Ember. Now going back to the artifacts, right? So it's 2 Tenacity, 2 Wanderers. These are the stats. Okay. So if you want to look in further detail, just pause on them. But basically we are getting EM stats on the HP or healing bonus pieces. And unfortunately we didn't get high enough HP on the Flower and Feather, but that's fine. Then you have the Kole. So Kole, EM is not that high, but I think it's okay because if you notice, she's not doing any of the procs. Now, my Kole is C6, and talents levels are as such, and she's using 4 deep wood. And these are the stats in case you are curious. They are not good at all. Her artifacts are not great, other than this piece. But the rest of them are not really that great. But it's okay because she's there as a support. And then you have the Favonius. The DMC with her Favonius. And for the yes, I know I have duplicate DU here, but I have not optimized this yet because there are different comps where I'm using DMC and Kole as the deep wood carrier. That's the reason why the artifacts are not switched. You can definitely switch them to other stuff like Instructor and give more EM buff. Okay, so these are the stats. I hope it's helpful to you guys. By the way, this is with the full buff. Okay, the EM is with full buff. Oh, and like I said, my DMC is C3. Okay, now let me show you guys the stats without the EM without the buffs. Okay, just quickly show the EM without the buffs. Alright, so this is Nilou's EM without buffs. 342. Kokomi 428. 313 for Kole. 458 for DMC. Yeah, so they're not high on their EM. In terms of artifact stats, they're not high on their EM. I'm mainly getting a lot of EM for Nilou because of her signature, the amount of EM her signature weapon adds to her, the amount of EM she gives to the team, which is 145 EM at R1, as per my math. And then you have her A1 also giving you 100 EM, right? And then you have C4 DMC slowly giving you up to 60 EM, C4 Kole give you 60 EM, and RY Allergy give you 100 EM. So that's how the whole comp works, where we are able to get high enough EM on most members of the party. Although after seeing how the rotation works out, actually you only need high EM on the Hydro characters, but you can still build EM like what I have here to be safe. So you make sure that your bountiful cores are always high damage. It's always 20 plus, 30k damage, 33k damage, etc. And this is C0R1. Once you get C2, the bountiful cores can hit up to 40k or 40 plus k. Okay, so yep. I hope this helpful video has been helpful to you guys to show you guys how it really all matches up perfectly. I'm very happy to say perfectly to my math guides. So if you have been following my math guides, congratulations. I think it will help you vastly in building the perfect Nilou optimized comp. This video has literally been a showcase of how to build Nilou correctly, how to do rotation such that your bountiful cores are all happening beautifully with hydro triggers. Okay, so thanks everyone for watching. I hope you like the content and it's helpful to you. If you like the content, remember the video and click subscribe for more. Bye.